Every time someone does something crazy in this country, it never fails. A few days later, we hear that law enforcement was aware that the suspect was crazy. They were aware of the suspect before this happened, or that the suspect was on some sort of FBI watch list. We hear this all the time. But we never hear of anything being done to prevent these crazy events from happening. Hell, some people would make the argument that certain agencies are behind the scenes pushing some of these crazy people into doing some of this crazy stuff. But that's a conversation for another day. The conversation that we have been currently having on this channel is a conversation about a crazy racist woman by the name of Bionca Ellis, who just brutally killed a young white kid inside of a grocery store parking lot up in Ohio. And I mean, this story is absolutely insane, but chances are, if you haven't been watching this channel, you probably haven't heard of the story, because stories like this are always swept under the rug when you have, the certain dynamics that are playing out in the story. Young white kid killed by a crazy black woman. Oh, the media wants no part of that story, but we're going to talk about it here today. And just like I was explaining or talking about earlier, there's always this talk of, police knew of the suspect before this. Police have had several run-ins with the suspect. Well, guess what, folks? Can you guess? Yeah, law enforcement was very, very well aware of Bionca Ellis. And I mean, they were so aware of Bionca Ellis. Bionca was just arrested. She was just arrested a few days before she killed Julian Wood for absolutely no reason. There was even a suggestion that maybe she needed some mental help. But guess what? They released her right back on the streets. And I mean, the situation is so crazy, folks. Police were so aware of Bionca Ellis that recently she had told police that she killed someone in California. Guess what the police did? Absolutely nothing. And now, after seeing what she did to that freaking 3-year-old child, after seeing and hearing about what she did to that 3-year-old child, I wouldn't put it past her that she maybe killed someone in California. But the situation is so bad that Bionca Ellis herself told law enforcement that she killed someone in California. Law enforcement, they come to talk to her, and she tells them, you know what? I killed someone in California, and guess what? I want to kill again. I want to eat human flesh. I'm sorry, just saying it out my mouth, it really finally really kicked in and registered just how crazy this is. Think about if you called the police right now and you told them that you killed someone in California, what do you think they would do to you? Yet here we have Bionca. She calls the cops, tells them, I killed someone in California. They talk to her. She tells them, I want to kill again. I want to eat human flesh. And they decided, hey, she's a model citizen. We need to let her back on the streets. Let innocent mothers and innocent children deal with this problem. Law enforcement doesn't want any part of it. The judge doesn't want any part of it. The jails don't want any part of it. Let's release this dangerous woman who has confessed to killing someone in California, who has straight up looked us in our eyes and told us, I want to kill again, I want to eat somebody. Let's let her back out on the streets. So Julian Wood, a unsuspecting 3-year-old toddler, and his mother will have to deal with this problem in a grocery store parking lot. And now a 3-year-old is no longer with us because of some very poor decisions made by law enforcement. And of course, we can't take the blame off of Bionca as well. But what you're about to hear, what you're about to see, is that there was no excuse for Bionca being on the streets at all. She should have never have gotten this opportunity. But let's go ahead and roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Bionca, Ellis.
Walking into court to face charges for killing an innocent child.
And now the I-Team has found Bionca Ellis has claimed she murdered someone in California. And she even told Cleveland police she wanted to kill someone.
Here, Ellis smiled and made faces at a hearing on the murder of 3-year-old Julian Wood. North Olmsted police say last week, outside a Giant Eagle, Ellis attacked the boy and his mother with a knife, even though she didn't know them.
Judge Nancy Margaret Russo had no patience for courtroom shenanigans.
Do you stand or plea of not guilty?
Sí.
Pardon?
Sí.
What's saying mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
And the child's family had no patience either.
She took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son. Do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Now the I-Team has uncovered more police reports and more court records that raise the question as to why Ellis was not locked up before the toddler was murdered.
We've uncovered recent cases from Northeast Ohio to California and to Florida. March, Ellis arrested near Orlando for trespassing at a hotel.
February, Cleveland police took a call from a woman's shelter. A report shows Ellis demanded the staff call 911 so she can confess to a murder. She told police she murdered someone in Bakersfield, California.
Police there did not have Ellis tied to any murders, but they had just issued 3 warrants against her for assault. At that call to the women's shelter, police say Ellis also told them she wanted to kill someone and eat their flesh. So Cleveland police took her to the hospital for a psych evaluation. But that report also shows North Olmsted police did not come and get her, even though she had been wanted for a probation violation.
Yeah, I'm going over here to the bus stop.
Last week, the I-Team revealed Ellis got arrested for violating probation in North Olmsted, just days before the murder of little Julian.
A magistrate recommended a mental health check, but Judge Brian Hagan released Ellis without a hearing. We've now uncovered chilling new information about Ellis, but last week the judge told us he was unaware of anything alarming when releasing Ellis. What would you do differently handling this case or even next time?
Nothing. I'm confident in the way that the court handled this matter.
It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period.
Back in county court, Julian's family said Ellis should be held in jail. The I-Team now revealing more about her out on the streets nationwide.
And Judge Russo made it nearly impossible for Ellis to go free before standing trial for the death of this child.
I said $5 million.
I'm sorry, folks, but this is the type of stuff that gets me worked up. And I don't get worked up often, but stories like this really get me fired up. And listening to that judge, did you hear what he had to say? That he regrets nothing, he would do it the same way all over again? F you, bro. F that judge. He has blood on his hands. I hope that he knows. And I think that he does. He might not want to admit it. He wants to sit there and nonchalantly act as if he didn't play a part of this, but he played a part of this. You let that crazy woman out of jail. And a few days later, she killed that young kid, knowing she had no business being out of jail. This woman has been attacking people on the streets prior to what she did to Julian and his mother. She had already told the police, hey, I killed someone. They didn't even care. They're not even going to look into it any further. Telling them, I'm going to kill again. I'm going to eat people. Oh, but no. We don't want to be racist. We don't want to be bigots. We got to let this woman back out on the streets. And let me tell you this. I'm not going to sit here and say that this woman isn't crazy, because what she did is crazy. And obviously she's very capable of being crazy. But the way that she's trying to portray herself now, and the way that the media is going to portray her, is not necessarily an accurate image. Because she'll act all crazy after what she did to that poor little child. But she wasn't super crazy when she was all dressing up, talking about hood shit on Instagram and on Facebook. She wasn't crazy then. She wasn't crazy when she was posting about Black Power and all of this nonsense. She wasn't crazy when she was getting dolled up with the pink wigs and the makeup. But now she's playing crazy. Now she's presenting herself this way. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, yeah, she obviously did something crazy. I'm not saying that she's mentally all the way there. But also, I don't know how much of this is craziness and how much of this is just low IQ, ratchet nonsense, thinking you're above the law and nothing can be done to you because everyone, the outside world, they're all bad people and everyone's against you. Everyone's bigots. Everyone's big bad racists. I'm going to do whatever I want and I shouldn't suffer any consequences. This is just a lot of low IQ BS. And when you encounter someone that's really low IQ and ratchet, you understand that, oh, it's very similar to encountering someone that's crazy. Because at the end of the day, you crazy or you're a low IQ dumb idiot, you're still not all the way there, if you get what I'm saying. But, I mean, this is just your latest example of law enforcement being very, very, very aware of these crazy lunatics that they're allowing back out on the streets to victimize and hurt more people. Anyone in their right mind knows that this woman posed a threat to society. And like I said, instead of the law dealing with it, instead of police, instead of a judge, and instead of all of that, they left poor little Julian Wood, a three-year-old child. They let him deal with the problem. And we see how that turned out. It's just absolutely disgusting. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here before I say anything that gets me kicked off of YouTube. So for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and remember to always remain opinionated.